Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri and on today's DIY Wednesday video, we got sent something to test. Get ready for it. So a little while back, I got an email. It goes as follows. This is the PR team from Sainlogic. We have watched your videos on YouTube and we really like them. Well, thank you, Sainlogic. I will read on. But as I was reading this email originally, I was like, Sainlogic saw my chainsaw video, and you'll see why I think that. I'm reaching out to you because I have a product that I think your audience would appreciate. Would you be willing to test and make a review video for a mini electronic chainsaw? I know. They had to have seen our first chainsaw video and realized I'm a pro lumberjack at this point. And I thought, the first chainsaw we tested was great. While it only weighed 11 pounds or whatever it was, I still felt it was kind of heavy. So it was like, hell yeah, I'll test a mini chainsaw, send it on over. So they did, and we're gonna test it. Now, we know chainsaws are amazing, and since this is a mini chainsaw, while I'm sure it's very capable of cutting down a little bit thicker tree branches that you can't use like loppers with, we're not gonna chop down a tree. We've already fell a tree. We know we can do that with a normal electric chainsaw. So I was like, gosh, what can we do with a mini chainsaw? How can we test this mini chainsaw? Then I thought, I wonder how accurate this mini chainsaw is at cutting little log discs. I perused the internet and I saw some ideas for little mini disc-like frames around mirrors. I have this old mirror that teacher Jen gave me that has kind of a chunky frame. It's not really my style, but I took a look at the mirror and you can remove the frame. So then I was like, okay, well, I have all of the logs from the tree that we fell originally. So I'm thinking we're gonna test this chainsaw and see if we can cut I'm hoping we can get thin little discs, and then we can make a project. So we're going to attempt to make a mirror using a mini chainsaw. Now, I don't need to tell you, but in case this is the first video you've ever watched on This Is Real Life, just because this mini chainsaw was sent to me does not mean that this video is sponsored by Sainlogic. They just sent me this mini chainsaw in hopes that I would make a video, which I'm going to do. However, the proof is in the pudding. If it's hard to use, if it doesn't cut, we're all gonna be able to see it. So this review of this mini chainsaw is going to be just like all other reviews when I purchase the product myself. So not sponsored, I don't owe anything to Sainlogic, they don't owe anything to me. So let's get into the unboxing of this mini chainsaw. 6-inch electric chainsaw, cordless, small chainsaw, battery powered with safety lock for trees, plus 2 batteries in blue. Typical price says $99.99. However, on Amazon right now, it says it's $79.99, which I don't think is a very bad price. Fast and efficient mini chainsaw. Get ready to tackle any cutting task with our chainsaw. Allows for effortless cutting of branches and trunks. With a sturdy guide chain, high quality brushless motor, and reliable battery system, the saw is able to quickly and efficiently get the job done. Perfect for use in the garden, yards, and forest. For all of you that live in the forest, this will be a good product for you. Looking for a powerful handheld chainsaw? Unrestricted use in any space, 6-inch guide plate, high torque brushless motor. Efficient, safe, and portable. Lightweight and compact. Comfortable to hold and easy to control, making it suitable for a variety of applications. Now that's what I love. While a normal size chainsaw is great, you gotta fell a tree, gotta cut down some larger branches, this mini chainsaw could be extra great for those little things where we don't need a ginormous chainsaw. I'm just saying. Because typically, before I got any sort of a chainsaw, I would use my loppers, but the loppers only get like branches, you know, that are like this big around. For anything larger than that, I have this, which is a pain. I mean, it works great. I have this little handsaw. It's sharp, it works great, but it does take a lot of manual power to get through any sort of tree branch that's thicker than my loppers can handle. So I'm pretty excited about this mini chainsaw. It's got 90 degrees of like pivotness. The blade itself moves. It's easy to grip handle, and one-handed operation makes it comfortable for use for extended periods. That is lovely, because we all know that ginormous chainsaw, you gotta have two hands on it at all time. Okay, so now that we know all of the details, let's open it up. So cute. Here it is. Comes in a very cute carrying case. Yay, I love that it has a case, like a toolbox. Flip these open here, and dun 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 dun. All right, oops. We got the directions that fell on the floor. Activate warranty and claim the 1-year free extension. Okay, directions. An empty bottle. There is nothing in this bottle. It is empty. I don't know what that is for. We got our chainsaw. Look at how cute it is. And look, now it doesn't have the battery in, but this is really, really, really light. Cool thing. There are 2 batteries, so you can have one charging. You know how I love that. One charging while you're using one. When this one runs out, this one's already charged. Pop this puppy in, put this puppy on the charger. I love it. This cord will plug right into my charging station, and we just charge them up like that. I hope they have some juice in them, because I want to use this like right now. We have gloves. I wouldn't call these protective gloves by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe this is like if you're holding a log, you don't get scratched, but this is not gonna protect you. And I don't think they call them protective gloves, but yeah, there's gloves. Maybe you're chopping down a tree in the snow, I don't know. Protective eyewear, and a spare saw chain, because the chainsaw already has a chain on it. So we've got a spare. That's awfully nice. Okay, great. How do we use it? The battery of this project is not fully charged before delivery, therefore it must be sufficient before first use. So I've plugged in one battery. I have another battery sitting right here. The issue I have with the battery charging, there is no indicator light on the battery or the plug. So I plug it in, my power is on. One can only assume it's charging, but with no indicator light, I don't know when it's fully charged. So when they say do not charge the battery continuously for a long period of time to avoid using up all the power in the battery, otherwise the battery will be damaged, how do I know what a long period of time is if there's no indicator light? Now, they did say that there is a battery indicator light on here, but that doesn't really help me when I'm charging it. Ow. Okay, so I put the battery on. It didn't automatically like light up. So because I'm a chainsaw expert, I have a feeling I have to push this button and pull the trigger. I'm just gonna do that to see if the indicator light comes on. Okay, it does. It does say 100%. It says this is 100%. Now when I run it, the numbers go to like 73, 65, 77, but when I stop it, it does say 100%. So I'm gonna go with this is fully charged. Oh, I lied. On the part of the charger that you plug in to the plug, there is a tiny little red indicator light. So when that light turns green, I know that that battery is fully charged. Okay, that's good. That puts my mind at ease. When the equipment is running, please keep your hand away from the cutting area. Do not use this equipment to forcibly cut large branches. Otherwise, the chain might get stuck. In order to protect the battery pack in colder or wet weather, please put it under waterproof clothing. Are they telling me that I need to dress my chainsaw in a raincoat? I don't really understand that. There's troubleshooting. I mean, at this point we know how to make it. I mean, that's pretty much it. Okay, we know how to use it. So the only thing is, you know how in the original chainsaw I had put oil in it? Because they just sent me an empty bottle, but clearly this is where you fill it. And then this says this is the oil bubble, like maybe you see the oil in here. I have no idea, but they didn't give me any oil. I should take let's take the battery out before we start playing around with it. Battery off. So this is our like pivot, so I can make it super straight, or I can bend it to about that. The rotation isn't like a super lot, but it's enough. What I'm worried about is the oil situation. And if they meant this to be the oil, this is completely empty. Okay, yeah, so I don't have any chain oil left from the other chainsaw. I feel like it's bad to use without chain oil. It didn't say anything that I saw. It just keeps talking about the battery life. Okay, I guess we'll start using it. I don't know, I'm at a loss. I want to use it, but then there's that part of me that's like, you had to put chain oil in the big chainsaw. Why wouldn't you put chain oil in this chainsaw? And there's definitely nothing in here. Can I siphon chain oil from the other chainsaw and put it into this chainsaw? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I want to cut logs. I want to get this project done. Let me have a think on it for a second. Okay, so we have a situation. I went to go get the big chainsaw because it was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can just pour some of the chain oil from the big chainsaw into this chainsaw, unscrewed it, and then when I picked it up, I was like, oh, why is it leaking? So then I went back to the shelf that it's stored on. This is where I've been storing the chainsaw. See how greasy the bottom is? Because I have it like this when I store it. Now, I literally just unscrewed this, but hello, why is all the oil leaked out of the bottom? That's not good. Why did it do that? Look at all this chain oil right here that I could have used for my mini chainsaw. This seems to be a problem that we did not realize when we originally tested it. Yeah. That large chainsaw, that could have been totally my fault. Maybe we weren't supposed to dump the whole bottle of chain oil. Maybe we were only supposed to put a little bit. I don't know. Is it like hair clippers where you just barely need to put any? So here's what I did. With the puddle of chain oil that was on the shelf, I took my finger and then I scraped it into here. So there's a tiny bit of chain oil. At least it will provide the chain some lubrication. But again, the big chainsaw could not be Badger Powered Chainsaw's fault at all. Could totally be my fault. I don't really know. So there is whatever there is, like 10 drips of chainsaw oil in here, and that's how it's gonna be. I'm tightening that up. I don't know. That big chainsaw is perplexing me. I have no idea what happened there. I could Google it right now, but I don't want to. Okay, awesome. Now I want to use it. Okay, so I have my stack of logs that I made into logs using the big chainsaw from the tree that we fell out there. My plan is, if this works, I want to cut little discs of all different sizes. So little, I've got big, I've got medium, I've got semi-medium. I was thinking clamp the logs to my workbench, but since this chainsaw does say we can use it one-handed, I want to see how like wieldy it is. For one-handed use, I want to pick a pretty long one and a pretty straight one. Stop it, so that I can hold it firmly in one hand and then use the chainsaw with this hand to see how that goes. If I feel like no, then we can clamp this to my workbench. Our first task is to try to make this first cut as straight as possible so that every other disc comes out flat and straight. And I want to see how thin I could get these discs. Now that we have about 10 drips of chain oil, I have put the battery back on while this battery is still charging. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna put my own safety eyewear on. I mean, let's just go. Let's just see. Pressing the start button and then pulling the trigger. Okay. That was pretty straight. It did take more time than I thought it would, and that could be because the battery's not all the way charged. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty straight, and the cut seems pretty smooth. I mean, it's still rough-ish. You can tell by the lines on the wood. So this is the side I used with the mini chainsaw. This is the side that happened with the big chainsaw. So you can tell the mini chainsaw is definitely a lot smoother of a cut. So yeah, that went well. Now we have to determine if I can cut my discs all at the same width. I did kind of want bark still left on my logs, but the friction of the chainsaw and maybe the dryness of this log has like knocked off the bark. So maybe some discs will have bark and some won't. I don't really know, but no bark kind of looks nice. It was not a problem to hold it with one hand and use the chainsaw with the other. This chainsaw is super lightweight, super easy to use. I wouldn't say that it cuts like butter, but it cuts fairly easily. Like my arm wasn't ricocheting. I wasn't feeling like vibrations in my shoulder. It was actually very, very, very easy to use. Part of me wants to make little marks on here, but then, you know, there's the other part that's like, just eyeball it, it'll be fine. So yeah, let's cut some more discs. Okay, so this battery wasn't very charged because now it's stopped, and I've only been able to cut, well, my original and then 2 more, and then I got like a quarter of the way through this one and then it stopped. So I think I have to wait for batteries to charge, but on the plus side, I can get some pretty thin cuts, which is nice. Now this one I didn't do all that great. It's kind of thick right here and then a little bit thinner, but I think the more I get used to it, the better I'll be at it. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So I guess I have to wait for the batteries to charge. So in the meantime, we can prep our mirror. How about that? Never wasting time, never wasting time. Okay, so here is the mirror that Teacher Jen gave me, and it seems fairly easy to remove the frame from the actual mirror. It just looks like screws are holding it in place. I'm gonna put like a towel or a cushion down so that I don't accidentally break the mirror. Set this down here now. I could just use a screwdriver, but I think I'm gonna use my drill. Okay, pretty easy. I'm just gonna take these screws out. Not that big of a deal. Okay, voila. Oh my gosh, what is going on? It's getting noisy out here. I saw a work truck. Okay, well this is freaking awesome. So I saw a big work truck drive through. You can hear it. It's tree trimmers in front of a house that's like 4 houses down. But yeah, it sounds like they're cutting down a tree right here. I should ask them if they could please use a battery-powered chainsaw so that they were a little bit more quiet. I clearly can't do this out here now. Well, the battery's still charging, so basically, I'll tell you what the plan is. You don't need to see me do it, and I'll do it while they're chopping down a tree, I guess. See them? They're the ones making noise. They're using a chipper shredder, pretty much all the noisiest tools you could possibly use. Thanks, guys. Okay, so just bear with me. Plan is, I got this like 1/4 inch board so that I could put this mirror onto this. I obviously need to trim it, and then I will use this board to glue on all the wood pieces around the mirror to make a really cute frame. But yeah, I'm gonna put this onto this. And then hopefully by that time, our chainsaw is charged. Okay, so I think that was perfect timing. I think they are done chopping down the tree. I mean, I do still hear rumblings of machinery, but hopefully it's off in the distance and it doesn't bother you. But again, this is what it's like working in your garage. Sometimes there are noises. So I finished the backer for the mirror. And I did find this Loctite Pro-Line Premium Construction Adhesive. Now, I'm worried that this might eat away at the backing of the mirror. So I did some Google searching and nowhere did it tell me that yes, this is safe for mirrors. I did find a site that said best glues for mirrors are silicone and urethanes. This does say it's a polyurethane formula, interior and exterior use water resistant. So I'm gonna use it because it's what I've got. I think I'm gonna get a scraper, like a flat edge, spread this out, make it really smooth, put the mirror on top, maybe clamp it. I think, yeah, clamp it. You have 30 minutes to reposition it, 24 hours for it to cure. So yeah. Now, what I did to get this shape is I just used the frame of the mirror, traced it out, then traced out the opening for the mirror so that I know where to place it, so everything has the same border around it, which I think is about 3 inches. So I'm gonna get a scraper, we're gonna put this on, we're gonna put the mirror on top, then we're gonna set it aside. Oh, I don't know how old this is, considering the lid just broke. Oh, come on. It feels gushy on the inside. Oh no, I might have to go to the store. It wants to come out. Oh my God. I told you, you never know how old this is. I'm gonna try to squeeze it with pliers. It looks like it's juicy. We can, oh, I just poked it out of the back. Okay, maybe we'll use it out of the back. Yeah? Just call me Tim Gunn. Okay, it's coming out. Can I slice a bigger hole? Yeah, this is definitely garbage after this use. I'm just gonna chop off the bottom. Don't get it on your hands. Okay, that's working. Yeah, you know, just like cake frosting. Oh, this will be fine. This is gonna work just fine. Will it damage the back of the mirror? We don't know, but as far as gluing it down, this is gonna work. Okay, I feel like I got it as spread out as it's gonna be. So let's take the mirror and set it down. I'm gonna try to eyeball it to see, like, am I even on all sides? I mean, I think that looks good. Yeah, the mirror itself is actually quite heavy. It's a very thick mirror. So now that I have it on here, I feel confident that gravity will do its thing and the mirror will stick here. I am gonna move this off to the side. I was gonna clamp it, but my clamps don't fit. I have a lot of width here as far as the frame is concerned, and the clamps don't make it. So I'm just gonna have to trust gravity, and we can continue. No, can we yet? That charger button is still red and not green. So we still have to wait for that. Unless I just use it now, start charging the other one, which is what I'm gonna do because I don't like to waste time. So I'm gonna take this battery off the charger, charge the other dead battery. We'll use this battery until it runs out, and we'll just keep swapping back and forth and back and forth. We got things to do. We cannot be waiting around for batteries to charge. Now, while we have like kind of some juice, I wanna test it on a bigger log like this. 4 1/4 inches. So let's see how this chainsaw does on this. Power. Go. Okay, that did take a significantly longer amount of time. However, we got a pretty nice disc, and it is cutting really smooth. This was big chainsaw side. You can see all the ridges. I don't mind it at all. It's very easy to use, one-handed, super lightweight. I kind of dig it. I just know I'm gonna be here cutting discs for 80 million years because I need a lot of discs to cover that mirror. I want discs of all varied sizes, so I better keep going. Okay, I just cut one more disc, and I looked at the battery life on here, and it said it is about 95% charged. So I'm gonna keep going again until this one runs out, and hopefully I can cut more than like 3 more logs. Again, I'm very impressed with the cutting. It's very smooth for a chainsaw, and I'm really digging that. Okay, it loses battery power very, very quickly. After my first disc, it said I had 95%. I just finished cutting another disc. So I have 4 discs. Before I started the 5th disc, the battery power life said like 47%. I barely got through it. That's how much I got through, and it stopped. So yeah, looks like we are gonna have to wait for that light to turn green so that I can really gauge how long the battery lasts, because right now, like 4 discs at a time, no, that's not gonna work for me. I guess I'll go inside and clean the house or something for the next 2 hours and then come back out and see if that one's charged. Now, this is where I wish they gave me 2 power cords, because I could be charging both at the same time so that when that one runs out, this one would be fully charged waiting to go. But they didn't. They only gave me 1 power cord. So yeah, and here's a fun fact. Since I had 4, I went over to my mirror and I laid these out, marked where I put the first one, and then moved them around. Out of the big discs, I need to get 18. I have 4. Yeah. Charge, just charge. Okay, so this is the next weekend. I charged each battery for the full amount of time, which was longer than 2 hours. So at the 2-hour mark, I came out to check on the first battery and the light was still red. So then I came out an hour later and then the light was green. So somewhere in between the 2-hour mark and the 3-hour mark, one battery was fully charged. So then I put the other battery on the charger because they only provide 1 charging cord. I also looked at all of my battery chargers. They do not fit this charger at all. So I couldn't use a battery charger that I already had to charge the battery. I have to use the plug they provide, which is 1. So 3 hours for one battery, 3 hours for the next battery. I took them both off the charger because it said do not overcharge, and I just left them on my workbench until today. So I came out, plugged in my first battery. I started chainsawing a pretty thick log, like the 4-inch round log, at 129 exactly. At 139, the battery was dead. No more juice. So it lasted exactly 10 minutes. So I plugged in my second charged battery. That one I used to cut a couple of more discs from the bigger log, and then I moved to a smaller log and cut discs from a smaller log. Now, I don't know if that made a difference in its power or use of power, but that second battery lasted me 20 minutes, approximately. I'd probably say maybe about 15 minutes, because I was changing batteries, picking up logs, doing whatever. So the battery life for each 3-hour charge only lasts 10 to 15 minutes. So I blasted through both batteries in 30 continuous minutes of chainsawing, which, what's the point? So I clearly do not have enough discs to go around the whole mirror. I do have one battery back plugged in on the charger, but I'm not gonna sit around here and wait another 3 hours just to get 10 minutes of battery life from this thing. I mean, no. So I did come up with a plan B for the mirror, and I'll show you what I'm thinking. It's not gonna go to waste. We're just not gonna have enough log discs to go around the entire frame. It still looks cute, I think, but let me know what you think. So this is what I decided. I kind of did, this sort of a shape. And for the frame that is blank, I'm thinking maybe a stain or a paint, and then have the natural logs here. Okay, so yeah, while you can see it's not exactly the vision that I had envisioned, I think we can make it work and it's still gonna look cute. Because I'm sorry, ain't nobody got 3 to 6 hours to wait for batteries to charge to only get 30 minutes of work time. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I still think the mirror looks cute, and I think we can still make it look super cute. The edges of my discs are a little bit jaggedy, so I'm just gonna lightly sand off the jagged, splinters of it all so they're a little bit smooth. Mad at myself because I had a little bit of stain left over from the bar project, and I was like, this is just a little bit, and I threw it away, and that little bit would have been enough stain for that little tiny bit of frame on the mirror. So I do have some white paint. I'm contemplating, should I do white with the natural wood? That might look cute. Or should I go by stain? I don't know, but I'll think about it while I'm sanding all of my little discs, and I'll let you know. Okay, so I finished sanding off all the little splinters of my discs, and I ended up painting the frame around the mirror like this sagey color green that I just had in my garage. If doing the china cabinet has taught me anything, Katja says layer. So I did her like quick paint method, and now I just rubbed on the dark brown wax. So this is what we are working with. You can see this is the original color, and then this is where I waxed it. I was not trying to have to paint more than I needed to paint because I'm covering up like a whole 2/3 of it with my wooden logs. I probably painted more than I needed to paint, but better safe than sorry. Basically, the whole bottom half is just still normal. Now for my logs. What I'm thinking is I've got a lot of big logs, a lot of medium-sized logs, and a little bit of little baby ones. I brought in my wood glue, but then I was also thinking hot glue probably would work as well. Maybe I'll use a combination of both. I'll let you know which one works. I am going to start gluing on our little log discs that we cut with our mini chainsaw, but the next time you see it, it's gonna be done and it's gonna be hanging on a wall. So just you wait. Okay, our super darling mirror is totally done and I have it hanging up. I'll show it to you in just a minute. But since we're done with that, I just wanted to go over my final thoughts of our Sainlogic Mini Chainsaw. Now, it is on sale for $79.99, regularly priced at $99.99. As a mini chainsaw that's cordless, I think it's great. It is very, very lightweight. I like that it also comes with its own little carrying case and 2 batteries. I wish that it came with 2 chargers as well, because the charging of the battery, while the directions said approximately 2 hours, I was finding it's more along the line of 3 hours per battery. So if they included an extra charger, you could be charging both batteries at the same time. Because of the way you have to charge them, they don't fit on any other chargers that you might currently have. You have to have that weird cord. And then the battery life, I'm not digging it. I did charge it for another 3 hours to retest how long the battery would last, and I came out here and chopped a few more discs, and I'm telling you, battery life is like 10 to 15 minutes on a 3-hour charge. Like, that math just ain't mathin' to me, and I feel like the people over at Sainlogic should work on that, because I find that you can extend the battery life if you are cutting branches that are about 1 inch in diameter, to where it's not having to struggle as hard to get through a branch that might be like 4 or 5 inches in diameter. I found when I was cutting the bigger logs, the battery life went super fast, like 10 minutes. But when I was cutting smaller logs, it did last about 15-20 minutes. But even still, if you're having to wait for a battery to charge for like 2 to 3 hours, and then you only get to use it for about 15 to 20 minutes, no. Now, I will say, I do like it. If you are nervous about a full-size chainsaw, but do want to do some of your own tree trimming that maybe your loppers you can't quite get because the branch is just that much too thick, then I do like this. Like, I like the idea of whipping this out and just going, cutting about 3 or 4 branches at a time, recharging your battery. For like light duty tree trimming, I would much rather grab this than I would want to grab my full-size chainsaw. Now, while it does have like a tilting situation, I used it like straight because the tilt isn't like a 45, it's just this. This is the tilt. So you either go super straight or you go a little bit of a tilt. I just found that using it super straight like this was easy for me to do. It does make quick work of chopping down your branches or cutting log discs, if you will. But the thing I can't get over is the battery life. Like, no. But again, if you are too nervous to go and purchase a large chainsaw, which are more expensive, they're also way heavy. This, look at this. Look at this. I could just wheel this all around with one hand. I do like that. So if you think maybe you're not strong enough to hold a full-size chainsaw, even though when we weighed it was like 13 pounds, but there is something to be said for being able to hang on to something with one hand and use your mini chainsaw with the other. It definitely provides a sense of safety. So for that reason, I really do like it. I mean, really, all in all, I really do like it. It's just the battery life is killing me, Smalls. Like, my batteries for my drills, my yard tools, all of that, that battery life lasts a long time. And it's just very surprising that the people at Sainlogic have not mastered how to get this battery, which is, in my opinion, like a full-size battery. 79 bucks. If you didn't already have a full-size chainsaw and you did want something lightweight to help you with some light-duty tree trimming, then yeah, I don't think 80 bucks is that big of a deal, especially if you know your light-duty tree trimming is only gonna take you like 10-15 minutes. Even if you have 30 minutes of tree trimming to do, you could go through 2 of the batteries and be done with it and then just recharge them. So I can't say fully for certain, for sure, that yes, I would run out and get this because the battery life is killing me. But everything else, I love. I love that it's lightweight. I love that you don't need a cord. I love that you can use one hand. It's basically ready to go right out of the box, minus a little bit of chain oil. I love all of that, but the battery life is throwing me. Because the cost really isn't that bad when you think about chainsaws in general. 80 bucks for a tool that comes with 2 batteries, a charger, this, an extra chain. Not a bad price. So I will let you guys make your own decisions about the Sainlogic Mini Chainsaw. Let me know in the comments below if this would be something you would like to have to help you with your light duty yard maintenance. Okay, now I have an answer for you. I remembered from the emails that the people over at Sainlogic were like, oh, we'll include a discount code in case any of your subscribers want to purchase it. And I'm like, okay, sweet. So I was just going through my email to check for the discount code to make sure that I did have it so that I could say, discount code in the description below. And normally when a company sends a discount code, I do not benefit at all. It's just a nice gesture that they provide me to provide you so that if you do want to purchase it, you can get a discount. Typically, the discount codes are like save 10%, save 15%. We've all seen them. They're very, very generic. However, when I clicked on this discount code, let me just show you. We get 70% off. That brings the price from $79.99 to $23.99. Now, even though the battery life is not what I would like, at $23.99, yeah, all day, every day, you guys need to go get you one. I cannot believe I just opened that right now. Now, at the time of filming this video, it's 4 days prior to when you're looking at it right now to when you're watching it. It does say claim your coupon within 34 days. So if you are watching this on Wednesday right now when it drops today, you have approximately 30 days to claim your coupon to get the Sainlogic Mini Chainsaw for $23.99. I know I sound like a total salesperson and I'm not meaning to right now, but when I clicked on that, I was floored. And it includes everything that I opened from this little carrying case. Battery life aside, for 24 bucks. If you don't have a mini chainsaw, now's the time to get it. I will be sure to include the discount link that they sent me in the description box below. So click on it, because like I said, aside from the battery life, I had nothing bad to say about this. I think it is great. And now I think it's even greater because the discount is so amazing. So thank you, Sainlogic, for allowing me to offer my subscribers such a wonderful discount. Now that I'm super sweaty because it's super hot outside, let's go check out the mirror. Okay, so I hung the mirror in Davis's room just because I felt like we're already going with like the tree vibe situation in here, and I think it looks pretty good. So, final reveal in 3, 2, dun 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 dun. I mean, it's not exactly what I had envisioned. I did want logs to go all the way around the whole entire mirror, but I will say it is pretty cute. I mean, look at it. And honestly, I literally just hot glued all of my log discs onto the frame, and it worked out fine by me. I tested them all. They are on there very securely. And considering this is just hanging on a wall, I think they'll be fine. So yeah, we totally made a mirror using a mini chainsaw. I know you didn't think it could be done, but clearly it can be done. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And you know what I was thinking? That discount for that mini chainsaw is so great. Again, hashtag not sponsored. I don't make one single dime for any purchases made using the code that Sainlogic provided. I'm just letting you know my thoughts. I was thinking Christmas is right around the corner, and at that price, we should totally stock up. So again, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know if you plan on using the discount code from Sainlogic and getting that mini chainsaw for yourself or a friend. And as always, thanks for hanging out.